even though the movie isn't set to come out for another 3 years or so, here's what we know so far about Secret Wars. Starting off with reputable leaks, My Time to Shine Hello tweeted, "The TVA sends a team of multiversal Avengers who have been secretly recruited, led by Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, and Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool, to save the 616 Avengers and defeat the Kangs once and for all." This structure sounds similar to how the Avengers who survived Thanos' snap, the outgoing original team, and saving the dusted incoming new Avengers. Maguire previously reprised his Peter Parker with Andrew Garfield in Spider-Man No Way Home, and has been heavily rumored to return in Secret Wars. As for the villains, well, that's a little iffy with the whole Jonathan Majors stuff. King Dynasty will have the new Avengers as the leads, while Secret Wars will be mostly from the point of view and will focus on the heroes from other universes. Allegedly, the Secret Wars movies will serve as a send-off for the classic Fox X-Men, before ushering in a new cast. Azazel, played by Jason Fleming in X-Men First Class, is set to return to the big screen for Deadpool and Wolverine, and then more movies. In X-Men First Class, this character has a minor role as a member of the mutant extremist group Hellfire Club. The group sought mutant supremacy, and tried to recruit the X-Men to join them. A and his fellow members tried to help their leader, Sebastian Shaw, enact a nuclear war, but Shaw's plans were foiled, and he was killed. Following the death of the leader, the former members of the Hellfire Club joined Eric Leshner, bad guy, to form the Brotherhood of Mutants. Speaking of other folks, we've got Kelly Hu. She played Lady Deathstrike in X2, X-Men United, but it seems like somebody else is going to take on the role in the new Deadpool movie and the MCU, which can maybe stick around for more movies. Maybe this was a scheduling conflict, maybe this was a dispute, maybe there was something else entirely. Kelly has stated in the past that she'd love to return the role. Speaking of official returns, Daphne Keane will be back as X-23. Real name Laura, she appeared in the critically acclaimed Logan, once thought of as Hugh Jackman's final Wolverine movie, before he was like, I'll do Deadpool and Wolverine. As a clone of Wolverine, X-23's power set mirrors Wolverine's, with retractable claws, the healing. Tyler Mane's going to return as Sabretooth, instead of fan favorite Liev Schreiber, who played the character in Wolverine. Now, Schreiber has long wanted to return as Victor Creed, even discussing a return in Logan, but was cut during the script phase. Aaron Stanford has talked openly about how super excited he is to return as Pyro. He debuted in X-Men United and reprised the role in The Last Stand. He's now back after an 18-year break, super happy to be in Deadpool and Wolverine, and possibly more movies. Sir Patrick Stewart and Sir Ian McKellen have also been rumored to appear in more MCU movies. They first appeared way back in the first X-Men movie, and ever since they've been a staple in the X-Men franchise. In an interview with Entertainment Tonight, Patrick Stewart said, "I can't say what Charles's future might possibly hold, but looks like these guys aren't retiring anytime yet." Stewart has already appeared in the MCU. Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. Also in the same interview that we just mentioned, Stewart revealed that these guys are far from retirement. They were like, we want to come back, we want to do more. So if Secret War is a way to tie all this up, what could be next? If we've got all these folks coming back, and that's their send-off, what do we got now? Well, there's maybe, let's see, what characters? Firestar. She wasn't in any of the Fox X-Men movies, and her most memorable appearance to date was in the animated 80s cartoon Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends before she was written into the comics. But I think this anonymity is exactly what a new X-Men movie reboot could use. Firestar can act as a young mutant who acts as the vessel for new and unfamiliar audiences to first immerse into this world with Professor Xavier's school. In the first X-Men movie, the role of the new and bewildered student was Rogue, also kind of Wolverine. Therefore, a small public incident involving her fire-based powers could bring Firestar into the X-Men fold and reintroduce this new team into the MCU. Other characters? Well, poor Gambit didn't really get much of a fair shake in the Fox franchise. The mutant first appeared in a small role in the very underwhelming X-Men Origins Wolverine, and an announcement about a solo Gambit movie starring Channing Tatum was made in 2016, but sadly this movie never made it into the production stage before the merger, and it was cancelled. Now that Marvel is starting with a blank slate again, it only seems fair to give Gambit a chance to shine. He could even be played by Channing Tatum in this continuity, and we could use some ideas from what could have been. Also, Gambit brings a side of gray morality to the team. As an ex-thief, he can show how the X-Men are the force for good for mutant kind in the MCU. My personal bias is showing, but I think Pixie or Megan Gwen would be a really fun fit into the new X-Men movies. She's adorable, she's pink, we have a whole struggle with her powers that we can work with for storylines, and just think of the merchandising opportunities. Pixie has been described as one of Marvel's most notable and powerful female heroes, and she's teamed up with X-23 before, so that's an easy way in. So Deadpool and Wolverine end up in the new universe at the end of Deadpool 3. So Jackman is definitely here to stay until at least the very end of Secret Wars, which makes sense about this next arc being used as a way to send off the Fox leftovers, if you will. Nothing against them, but the MCU needs a major dose of adrenaline and freshness that people want, and they're kind of struggling in that department. So on top of Tobey's Spider-Man being the chosen one for the group of misfit soups, allegedly Tom Holland's Spider-Man is the chosen one from Universe 616. So if that sounds confusing, allow me to explain. It sounds like at some point between the Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, Earth 616 as we know it is going to be destroyed. Are we maybe getting She-Hulk? So speaking on Deadline's Hero Nation podcast, head writer for She-Hulk Attorney at Law, Jessica Gao, addressed, are we going to maybe get Jennifer Walters? So the interviewer first referred to a scene from She-Hulk that takes place outside the prison, and a reporter can be overheard saying, "Heard she's been rejected from the Avengers." So when asked if She-Hulk would maybe be appearing in future movies, Gao revealed she would be shocked if Walters didn't make the cut. She's like, "I would be shocked if they didn't start putting her in the movies, especially the group team-up movies." Mark Ruffalo, the Hulk, previously addressed She-Hulk's Avengers future as he confirmed, "There's not going to be another Avengers without her." The TVA's authority and access across the multiverse make all of this really exciting. The possibilities are endless as it is, but with the TVA interfering, everything can go beyond anybody's wildest imaginations. Granted, we should take that with a grain of salt. This means if you haven't been following up with all the recent Marvel movies, it might be worth doing a rewatch ASAP. Loki fans have been on the TVA train for a while now. One of the people most responsible for bringing that bureaucratic entity into the MCU? Producer Kevin Wright. He was the mastermind behind the Loki series on Disney Plus and pushed for the TVA to be a big part of Loki's character for the show. In a previous interview with Variety, Wright explained how long they've worked on Loki. It was a labor of love, but for him, it was super fun to see how much the TVA plays into the rest of the MCU. So as the multiverse saga hurtles forward, he's hoping that more of the organization gets picked up and expanded by other creators. To reference the new Deadpool movie once again, because that's going to have effects on Secret Wars, there's a picture of Deadpool without his costume and a long list of attributes, skills, and backstory for the characters. Loki fans will obviously recognize the folders with important information from season 2 of Loki. So in addition of these details, social media posts also highlight a new poster that says, "Stay vigilant. Are there variants among you?" Clearly, one branch of the TVA did not get the memo from the season finale of Loki's latest appearance. After discovering that the bureaucratic society was set up as a failsafe, Tom Hiddleston's trickster decided to even the odds by allowing the multiverse to exist at the cost of his own freedom. So will Deadpool have some way to bring Loki back? Only time will tell. In his latest newsletter, Jeff Snyder says that while the Doctor Doom casting for the Fantastic Four reboot has yet to happen, he heard that Robert Downey Jr. might be coming back to the MCU timeline as a very famous nemesis. Snyder says he heard that the Iron Man star might be playing a variant version of Stark who ends up becoming Doctor Doom in his world. The idea that the MCU report seems to be loosely based on is Marvel's infamous Iron Man comic run, where Victor Von Doom served as Iron Man. Created by Brian Michael Bendis and Alex Maleev, it explores Doctor Doom as a hero, carrying Tony's hero title. There are certainly a number of directions the MCU could go with this concept, and having Robert Downey Jr. as part of that equation would be kind of crucial for a lot of reasons. Given how big of an impact the actor had on the MCU by the time of Endgame, having him return but giving him a very different arc and character to play would avoid decreasing the effect of his initial send-off. Marvel Studios could always approach the idea of Tony as Doctor Doom either by having him be a morally gray hero or a traditional villain. Having him as an antagonist would also allow for some emotional heartstrings to be pulled for the Earth 616 heroes, as it would have to battle someone who in their timeline was an ally. And that's all from me, folks. I've been Alexa. See ya!